let's burn some holes through the bullshit. So I've noticed a few that have wandered over from the other channel. You know, I'm on my tanning bed here in my trailer. Anyway, thought while I was laying here, I'd explain to some of these folks that don't know what crack squat is and why, you know, some adult people would be concerned with my furnace or how my avatar was taken or whether I have a basement or not or stuff like that, right? Because it's weird, okay, when you don't understand who you're dealing with. So the best way that I can explain the mechanics of cracksqaud, the Grand Poopah has managed to find 5 or 6 like-minded people that are willing to hang out with him all night long while he tries to one-up someone else's life, right? And he's drunk on that little bit of attention that he gets because he's never had that many people listen to what he's got to say. You know, in real life, most of the people he knows, they see him as a one-upper and they just roll their eyes when he shows up, and they really don't listen to him because they know it's just going to be bragging and one-upping the shit, right? So he got drunk on the attention very quickly. So to explain the mechanics of cracksqaud, you've got your rusty truck, a Thomas Swartz, an insecure one-upper, and then you've got your brutally dishonest Wade Deaver. He is somebody, he's a recovering meth head, and he has managed to convince a handful of people that his teeth are all rotten because he had to get chemo. And he's actually sitting there smoking while begging for money for chemo. And then you've got another incredibly insecure, but excusable, right? It would suck to be missing a limb, right? He's a one-legged guy. Apparently had an accident when he was young, and he's, you know, missing a leg. You know, wouldn't wish that on anybody. But instead of making the best of the situation, like many people do, he has decided to just hate himself and hate his life and hate everybody around him. He just literally despises what he sees in the mirror. And it shows, right? Because, you know, why would this 30-year-old in Louisiana be infatuated with you know, a couple of elderly people in another state that he doesn't even know or anything, right? And then you've got this chick named Jamie who, listen, when you get 4 or 5 incels sitting around with a female, if that female is vain, you understand these incels would lick the lint out of her toenails, right? Because when you're like a short, chubby, dopey dude, half bald by the time you're 20, you don't get a lot of attention from women, you know, and it gets you into this like incel thing, right, where you will just literally just I mean, if she let a fart, they would tell her how good the fart smelled. Okay? They would probably pay for her used tampons if she was willing to sell them to them. Okay? They're incels, especially New Cook. Wait till you guys see what he looks like. You're gonna shit. I mean, he is textbook incel. So anyway, here's how the mechanics of Crack Squad would work for those of you that don't get it. Okay? They have to, desperately have to, find some way that they can discredit me, thinking that then I would no longer tell the truth about their cult leader. And then they would feel better about themselves. Now, you know, the one-upper syndrome is something that sucks, right? So what's a one-upper, you ask? Well, one-upper is a very insecure person who can't admit something is nice if it doesn't belong to them. Okay, so like some dude could pull up in a sweet looking 32 Chevy 5-window with a Boyd Coddington body and a Choo-Choo Customs chassis and a blown crate engine, all chromed out, right? Really cool looking car, right? Well, one-upper would find something wrong with it, right? So if that helps you understand what a one-upper was, no matter what it is, they've done it one time better. No matter what it is, theirs is better in some way. And then they can't admit something's nice. And honestly, and I've said this before, even your enemies will have respect for you if you're honest in your critiques, right? So let's say, you know, what red-blooded American male wouldn't say, oh, nice bike, you know, Harley or something. It's just very common, right? Well, a one-upper, like Rusty, he wouldn't be able to do that. He would have to, it's junk if it ain't his. Or if somebody he doesn't like it belongs to them, it's junk, right? And then if it's someone he likes, oh, it's great. I mean, it's just dishonest critique, okay? So here's how the mechanics would go with Crack Squad. Now, mind you, these people will debate how my avatar was taken. They're so desperate. So if I made a video right now and said, oh, I had to take a shit, you know, I'd have been on sooner. The first thing that would happen is Rusty's cuckold, New Cook, and wait till you see this incel, I'm not kidding, you guys are gonna shit. He would immediately try to figure out what time I might have ate breakfast and try to analyze if it was possible for me to have been ready to shit. In other words, he would try to prove I couldn't have possibly taken a shit because there ain't been enough time between when I ate and when I'm shitting, okay? Brutally dishonest Wade Deaver would swear up and down it was my wife's shit and not my shit if I took a shit. Rusty Truck would just refuse to believe that I could shit. But there's no way he shit. Right? And then Eismick would literally want to analyze the peanuts in my shit in hopes that he could prove I didn't eat a Snickers bar. And Jamie would be mad that I didn't stand up and show her the rest. That would actually be the debate if I just made a quick video saying, hey, I would have been on sooner, but I had to take a shit. There would literally be a debate on whether or not that was true. and there would be a valid effort to disprove it. So I hope you understand what Crack Squad is now. Now that you understand a little better, maybe you'll enjoy some of the comedy, some of the L's, some of the lolcows we're getting out of it. It's some good content. No doubt about it. So, yeah, that's the mechanics of Crack Squad.